We're back with the Are You Good podcast. I'm Esme and I'm the Dean of Students.
I'm Samani and I'm in 11th grade.
And it's me, Aiden B, and I'm in 12th grade. I was in the last one.
My name is Dominic and I am a 7th grader.
I'm Miss Jackie, and I'm the OT at Sonnenberg Schools.
Hi, my name is Alexis, and I am an OTA student, and I'll be here until May 6th.
Awesome. Okay, so today's episode is going to be centered on occupational therapy or OT because it's also OT month. So we have a few questions for you guys and we'll kind of go from there. So what is occupational therapy? Does anyone know?
So occupational therapy and related to schools, we work on a variety of different things. So one of the things we're focusing on here are fine motor skills, or our favorite thing, right guys, handwriting. Okay, so we'll focus on those things. We also work on sensory integration. So that is ways that we can help you guys stay focused and on task in your classrooms.
I'm actually doing an in-service next week, talking a little bit about promoting hygiene and just having you guys learn some more independence with that. Sometimes it's stuff you already know, but just you might be like, oh, I even forget to brush my teeth some mornings. So just learning how to be more independent without needing reminders from your parents or without a visual schedule, or maybe visual schedules are what we need. So learning how to incorporate aids to help us with stuff like that.
Awesome. Okay. Obviously no one can see where we are. So can someone describe to the listeners, what does the OT room look like?
It got a trampoline, a big blue punch bag, and it got some these colorful mats. And a rope. Oh, I can't forget about the rope.
What do you think goes on the rope?
Probably a swing.
My brother has one of those. Oh, you say. The metal pipe, bro.
Yeah, so you guys are right. I see crash pads, a trampoline, a swing, lights, a little bit of everything. What do you guys use those things for? Like the swing or the crash pad?
You can use them to calm down or to take a break, or if you're feeling a type of way and you need something to do.
Did anyone else want to add anything on some of the things that you guys use here, or the difference on how it is OT versus more of a reinforcement?
Yeah, so when we're using our sensory strategies here at school, like our swings, our crash pads, our weighted vest, our compression vest, all of those tools are used to help keep our students calm and on task. We don't want to reinforce our students using these strategies. These strategies are only used to keep our students calm and focused, or to re-regulate when they're dysregulated.
So, what is a typical day here at Sonnenberg for you guys?
So we do have scheduled sessions in our schedule. So we're working with kindergarten, first and second every day, every morning. And we're working on a variety of skills like the fine motor skills, like handwriting and using scissors. Then we also work with our 3 through 5 grades, working on, again, handwriting or typing skills. And then built throughout our day, like we were just talking about our sensory strategies. So kiddos that maybe are having a harder time or need breaks, we see those students too every day throughout the day.
What's the most funnest equipment that you like here?
I would say that I really like either the swing or the therapy ball. So the therapy ball you use to kind of apply deep pressure, you can roll it over the students, and it really gives that good vestibular feedback and allow for like the deep pressure to be inputted, and I like it a lot. And then the swing is just fun in general, and it's fun to see their faces once they're fully like in like a little cocoon, and I love seeing that.
So do you like have a favorite sensory tool you guys use?
So personally or with students?
Personally.
Good question. So I actually, when I'm feeling overwhelmed, I like to limit any sensory input. So I like to take dark breaks by myself. And sometimes I listen to my favorite music.
Most common phrase you hear in a session.
All done.
If OTs were superheroes, what would their powers be?
If I could multiply myself to be in many places at the same time, that would be the most beneficial for me here.
Coffee, tea, or fidget spinner?
Coffee for me, Miss Jackie.
I would probably say coffee too.
Most underrated student superpower you have seen every day.
That's a good question. I think I am surprised by the wealth of knowledge from our students every single day. I learn something new from our students every single day. That's been really fun for me.
I would say the resilience and just like their overall strength. Like they're able to push themselves when there's the sessions that I would see are trickier. And even when I will be like, oh, I'm going to start having them try to do it more with like less prompting, they'll continue to push themselves and then they want to continue to like finish it. And it's very cool to see them engage in wanting to do that, even though it's hard for them. And I like seeing that.
Okay, we have another question related to the school. So at Sonnenberg, we're known for our commitment, right, to inclusion. How do you see OT playing a role in that mission?
So the whole purpose of occupational therapy is making sure that every individual can be their best self. So it's always been part of our motto in OT to help the students be the best that they can be at any level. So that is our main goal, is to make sure that every student here is successful as a student.
What's one thing you wish more people knew about kids with disabilities?
That they still, even if they are nonverbal, are able to understand, and that even if they have a disability, it doesn't mean they're necessarily disabled. They are still very much able to do a lot of things. Like they can still be functional in, like, say, putting on their shoes, doing daily functional tasks. And I feel like they don't need as much assistance as sometimes people portray that they need. And they're able to be very functional people still. And I think that sometimes when there's a label, people forget that and will be like, offer them more assistance when sometimes they're able to do a lot more than people think that they can do, which I don't like seeing from other people.
And I would agree. I think our job is to push the independence piece and just remind and educate others that they're independent individuals too.
Question that says, what is the difference between OT and PT or other therapies?
So OT focuses more on like the sensory and independence and focusing on like very specific tasks and it's very tailored to a specific person. So like say you really said you enjoyed going on crash pads. If you got injured and weren't able to get up on the crash pad, we would focus on how are you able to get back up on the crash pad specifically to engage your independence for there. Where PT would focus on just your overall increasing your strength and fixing your ankle. So like we are very tailored to like what is important to you and making sure that is what our sessions are focused on.
And then when it comes to speech, so in this setting, we can co-treat. So OT and speech and PT, we all work together as a team and take that approach. It's very important. But speech and OT and PT, we all have different goals with their students. But again, same commonality that we just want the best for our students and the most independence.
What are some major trends in OT that you are following?
I think one of the trends right now is, sensory is always going to be a word in occupational therapy as far as like our setting goes. So keeping up with those trends and best practices is definitely something that I try to educate myself on very often.
And then just the like bilateral input for like gross motor, incorporating stuff like that. There's been some new research on how that can be beneficial for some of the younger kids. But there's always so much research on OT. It's such an emerging field. I feel like in general, they always have so much.
Yeah, part of maintaining our license is we have to take continuing ed courses. So I guess I never stopped being a student, unfortunately, but it's very important for our job.
What are the strengths and weaknesses as an OT?
Strength, I think, is that I always try to keep in mind, like Miss Alexis was saying, person first, right? So I always want to think about what you guys enjoy and your guys' goals in life, and try to tailor my sessions based on those. And a weakness, goodness, that's a hard one, but I think a weakness is sometimes I have to remind myself to not be the tunnel vision of an OT, but also keeping in mind like mental health practices and, also working with our ABA team here and the teachers as well. It really does take a team approach.
I would say probably the same strength is really focusing on like the client-centered interventions. But my weakness, I think, is still learning how to like fade my prompts. Because I even sometimes will be like, oh, if they don't want to do it, like, I don't know if they don't want to or if they're not showing that they're able to. And I have to get better at that. But it'll come with time, especially still being a student.
Okay, we have one last question before we wrap up. So Aiden's going to present that.
If you could create an OT-themed playground, what would it include and why?
As many swings as there are students. I know the swings are going to be the most popular thing here at Sonnenberg because they're multi-purpose. They can be used for calming or they can be used for alerting activities. So I think those will be the most beneficial here at Sonnenberg. But the playground in general, just our kids learning how to climb and play, those skills will help integrate brain patterns. And so that's going to be beneficial as well.
Yeah, definitely a swing for every person because turn taking is hard even at my age. And also like the nice soft floor, which I think they're having at this one, which is super nice. But if that would have like a pattern they could follow to make more like a goal-oriented play, I think that would be super beneficial, even if it was like hopscotch or something, or even like a map that they would be able to integrate in their play. That would be super cool.
Jackie and Alexis, thank you for giving us a peek into the world of occupational therapy at Sonnenberg schools. The way you support, empower, and celebrate each student's unique ability is amazing.
And thank you for everyone turning in whenever your teacher, parents, or students, or just somehow who cares about creating more inclusive words, keep showing up, keep learning, and keep supporting the incredible powers in our school every day. Catch you next time on the Are You Good podcast.